So this was me on January 1st, and this is me now. 100 days, no gimmicks, no crash diets, just 5 simple, powerful habits that can actually work. Today, I'm breaking it all down, and you can absolutely do it too. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I have always believed in living life by design. And this was just one of the moments where I said, I'm ready to show up differently. January 1st, I looked in that mirror and I said, no ma'am, no sir, I'm not doing this. I'm wanting to change. You can do the same. Now, if you're new to this channel, I'm Shirley McAlpine and I'm a leadership coach and a speaker, and I'm your biggest champion for designing a life that you love. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down the 5 habits that I took on that are science-backed, that are life-changing, completely shifted me from where I was on January 1st to where I am now. And if you stay to the end, I'm going to share one of the mindset shifts that made it all possible. And it's nothing to do with the food and or the fitness. Let's dive into it. The first thing is intermittent fasting. This helped me regulate my energy, reduce cravings, and actually feel my hunger, which is important, and fullness again. I didn't realize how often I was in the habit of eating in between meals. I started with a gentle 12-hour fast, and I actually moved to a 17-7, and that means 17 hours of fasting and 7-hour window of me eating. And why does it work? Fasting gives your body a time to rest, to repair, and to tap into the fat stores. So it reaches for the fat stores and uses that as fuel for the body. And so it can improve your metabolic health, reduces inflammation in the body, and regulate your insulin sensitivity. The window I used was 17-7. And a tip, start small. Okay, so if you've never done it before, start small. Just close the kitchen after dinner and ease in. I would say get your dinner in early as you can. You can have as many liquids as you want. You can have tea, you can have coffee, you can have water, etc. As many liquids as you want. All right, so Zora's come to join me. And if you know me, you know Zora. Okay, so the second habit was leading with protein. Now that means that every meal, I focus on starting with protein. Like that's the core thing that I'm building my meal around, and then added on vegetables and a small amount of carbohydrates on that. So it's helped me in my muscle recovery. It's kept me full for longer. It has you be so much more satiated, and it's also supported my workouts like never before. So I know that the more I intake protein, the better I am at my workouts. So every meal, as I said, start with protein. So think about eggs, Greek yogurt, salmon, lentils, grilled chicken, whatever you want to start with there and build your meals from there. Now, why does it work? Protein builds and preserves muscle, particularly as we get older, to work on our musculoskeletal health, and it boosts metabolism and keeps you full for longer. So that's one of the biggest things. If you're someone who ends up having to snack and probably not getting enough protein, I imagine, and then it's just left me more satiated and it stabilizes the blood sugar. I stopped craving snacks essentially. So a tip is aim for 30 grams of protein at each main meal, and that's what I've been doing. Third habit that I took on in the 100 days is hydration. Lots of water. So stay hydrated. So important, and hydration is one of the simple things that changes everything. Okay, it impacts your skin, so it changed my skin. It absolutely impacts our mood and my focus. The more hydrated you are, the more focus, the more energy you're gonna have, and absolutely you're gonna feel the softness of your skin. I promise you, when you're more hydrated. So what did I do? I committed to at least 2.5 liters a day, and that my bottle basically becomes my friend. Okay, now why does it work? Water supports digestion, it reduces cravings, it boosts energy, and helps with your cell body function. Every cell in your body, essentially. We're 60% water. I think it's 60%. Or is it 70% water? Where hydration is so critically important. So start your day with a glass of water, and then just sip consistently. Keep topping up. You make sure you always got a glass of water with you that you're sipping all the time. The fourth one, okay, no processed sugar, none. I cut it out completely because processed sugar just has you crave more sugar. I mean, this one was huge, right? What I replaced it with, and I even cut out most of the fruits, all right? So what I focused on was having berries. I stuck to berries for the sweetness. I have a sweet tooth. I know me. It's my Achilles heel on this. I knew that if I had cut out all fruit and all sugar completely, I wouldn't have been able to continue. And I also knew that I wanted to set something up that I can continue to do. I didn't want to have something that I would bounce back from, and this is a game changer for me. And what I did was I focused on berries, and that is like strawberries, blackberries, blueberries. I wanted a snack, I would have that with some yogurt, plain unsweetened yogurt. And it took about, I want to say it took about 10 days for that sugar craving to completely go. And now, wow, I just don't have it. I don't have the grab that that I used to have that would draw me to look for that sweet snack. So the clarity, it impacts your mood. When you have processed sugar, you're going to crash at some point. And so that no longer happens. So I've got energy during the day, and it's just like, my mood's better, I just feel better as a result. Go for refined sugars. Make sure that you get your berries so they're on hand, so that when you get that little craving, because you will, in the beginning, you're able to meet that need with berries. It's nature's candy, I suppose. I'm gonna call it nature's candy. All right, so berries only. Now, why it works. So it reduces inflammation in the body, it supports hormone balance, and it evens out the energy levels. And so if you're someone who's feeling tired, who crashes, who eats something and then loses kind of energy within like, usually about half an hour, 45 minutes later, it's the processed sugar. So the tip, keep the bowl of berries in the fridge. Make sure that you have that stocked up, and that's gonna address your cravings. And then eventually, you won't really want it anymore necessarily. I know that's a tough one. It was a tough one for me. The fifth habit is strength training 4 times a week. I was someone who would go to the gym and I do exercise. And before, I increased that strength training to 4 times a week to try and stay consistent with that. And I found my own rhythm in doing that. Now, I actually love lifting weights. You know, I feel strong. I watch the definition in my body, and I just feel more powerful when I'm doing it. So I love going to the gym. I enjoy it, and that may not be the case for you. But certainly lifting weights, strength training was a game changer. Increasing it by 1 more day has seen a big difference for me, combining it with the 4 other habits. And it's really not about like aiming to be skinny. This is about feeling strong and being capable and really feeling comfortable in the body and the shape that I want. Doing some kind of exercise is absolutely important, and certainly strength training and lifting for me is a game changer for me. And I have been progressing the load that I'm able to carry. I'm clear that I'm going to be able to keep lifting weights that are getting heavier and heavier over time. And I'm just like beginning to define my muscles even more so. So I'm really, really happy about that. Now, why does it work? Strength training builds muscle. Oh my God, our muscles is so important. It boosts metabolism, improves bone density, and sharpens mental focus. I know the difference between the days that I go to the gym and how effective I am during the day and the days that I don't. I've noticed that difference. And so I'm really glad that I've increased it to 4 times a week, because it means that I'm more efficient on those days in a week. It also kind of revives your self-image. You know, as you look at yourself, like seeing the way that I'm defined now, I just love it. I just love it about my body. And as we get older, bone density is important. And even for younger women, actually, bone density is important for you at a younger age, because what you do in your 20s and 30s has a direct impact on what's going to happen in your 50s and your 60s. So even for you, like lifting weights is really important. It is start with your body weight exercises. You know, if it feels too much of a stretch to go to the gym and lift weights, there's so many strength training exercises that you can do with just your body, like squats, for example. And the other thing about that is show up consistently, and then you'll start to see the difference. Right, so now if you want to understand like what's the key thing that made the biggest difference in all those 5 habits, you know, so those five habits have been a game changer over the 100 days. But the thing that keeps you going is this. And for us to not to underestimate the power of our mindset, because those things that I've outlined, those 5 habits, are the things that you do. And you have to keep doing them for at least 100 days for it to become an ingrained habit. I know that we've heard a lot of times that you can develop a new habit after 21 days, but they've actually found that not to be accurate. 21 days starts to get you into a practice of doing something, but it hasn't really formed into a habit. A habit means that you are going to do it. It's something that is just fits into your day. You get to a point where you don't even think about it. Like brushing our teeth is a habit. And you can't get to that in 21 days, but you can get to that in 100 days. It's just how I'm living my life right now. And I don't have to think about it. It's just what I'm doing. So that's the power of the 100 days. But the mindset shift that really supports the keeping going during those times is, and making sure that it's sustainable. I made a decision to relate to myself, not in relation to the woman I am today, but really speaking to the woman that I'm becoming, right? The woman that I want to be. And I'm really coming from that place versus where I was. So where I was on the 1st of January, I didn't want to be in that place, you know? So that woman who on the 31st of December was eating stuff that didn't serve her, you know, but the woman that I'm becoming is taking a different decision. So I asked myself, what would the healthiest, strongest version of me do? What would the healthiest, strongest version of me do? And I let her determine my action. I had her be my mind, if you like, and be the place that I came from. So I'm showing up for the future self versus for what was showing up for me right now. And I'm still doing that. So I'm still making the choices about what would the healthiest, strongest version of me decide. Now, I want to let you know how powerful this mindset shift is, because what I decided was, when it was my birthday weekend in February, we went away with my family for the weekend, and it makes it really more restrictive, you know, if you're away with people. So I decided that for that weekend, I was going to take those 2 days off. I was going to have breakfast earlier than I would have done normally. I was going to be more flexible and maybe eat a bit later than I would have done with my family. I still made some good choices, but I wanted to have more flexibility as I had the weekend with my family, with my kids and my husband. So I made that decision. I did that for those 2 days, and then I was back on it on the Monday after we came back from that trip. And what was it that did it? It was my mindset. It was my mindset that really determined that, because I was saying, what would the strongest, healthiest version of me do? What decision would she make? And what she would make is, you get those 2 days, my friend, and you are back at it the next day. I'm not saying that it was always easy. You know, the mindset is so critically important for us in getting over the bumps. But I tell you what, when you are looking at the future self and it's impacting you right now, you make different choices. So that's the 5 habits that I've developed over the 100 days that has got me to where I am today, and the mindset shift that I started off with that has continued to keep me going. And particularly in the times when you have doubt, I get to adjust in the moment because I'm focusing on the woman that I'm becoming. When you do that 100 days straight, that is the woman that I am now. Now, if you're interested in taking on these 5 habits, and you don't have to do it alone, because you can also join my online community where we take on bold moves, the Brilliant Women community on School. It's a free community, and click the link below this video to join. I also run a bold moves challenge every month where you can take on your life and you take on the woman that you want to become. Click the link below. If you're ready to design a life that you love and live a healthy and full life, then join the community and then follow and subscribe to my channel for more videos. With love and belief in you, I will see you later. Take it easy. Bye, guys.